Hey, everybody. This is the Tangent Plant. I'm Devin.
I'm Colton. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, smash the subscribe button. We'd really appreciate it. Try to grow this into something cool.
Yeah.
Maybe build some kind of a community or something. And if people like it, then maybe we can branch out into making content. And because we're both really into guns and bowling and just doing different things. So if this branches out, maybe we could actually do something like that.
Yeah.
Add to the portfolio, if you will.
Yeah.
So
Don't forget to go to our social media pages. We got TikTok, we got Facebook, we've got Instagram, we've got YouTube.
we're everywhere except for X
Yeah, we're everywhere except for Twitter. And I don't know why I didn't hit Twitter. Maybe I will eventually, but
or Reddit.
yeah. Yeah, Reddit.
If we
Yeah.
if we had a subreddit, it would just be a bunch of dudes calling us gay.
Yeah, we would just get bullied all the time. That's all it would be. There'd be theories about why I'm ugly and fat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You busted your tooth sucking so many testicles.
Thanks for starting that. I appreciate it. Thank you. You did that. I know that comment will come straight from you. I'm aware of who they say things.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on Reddit here after we're done and start that rumor.
Nobody will know who I am. They'll be like, who's he talking about? Who's this random?
Is that guy?
Just have a picture of me just like that. Like we all know what it's for.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, I want to start this off. Usually we do the how's your weekends and how's this, but I want to start off a different way. Okay. I want to ask a very simple but thought-provoking question to Colton. And it's a would you rather. Okay, so would you rather every time you go out to your car, your truck, you automatically have to pee? Like if you don't piss in the next 30 seconds, like find somewhere you're gonna pee your pants, right? Or would you rather come every time you answer the phone?
I would definitely have to pee.
See, and I'm going to tell you why that's not the right one. And it's because I have a swindler mind a little bit. Think about this, okay? Listen, I would just wait for you to hang up and then I'd call you back. Never have to come.
Never have to come.
Like against my will. Because it's just if you call me and I answer the phone. But if I wait for it to go to voicemail and I just call you right back, I'm not coming.
My balls will be so fucking full.
Yeah, it just builds up. You're like, blue balls. See, I guess that's the only downside. But even that wasn't written in the. But that wasn't written in the.
Wasn't written in the contract.
Yeah. So
no, I would definitely, because that's just a mess. So I would, if I knew, I would just park in the back 40 everywhere so I could find a tree to piss on or open my door.
See, but you're doing too much.
Or like have a snuff cup, but for pee, and just pee in a bottle every time I get back in the car.
Yeah, but you're doing too much, my guy.
But if I know that it's coming, I can plan for it.
Yeah, but you have to do all this extra. I could just put my phone on do not disturb, never get a phone call again, and just call back.
Wait for the notification to come through.
Yeah, and then I mean that's kind of the way that I would get around it. You know what? Actually, I'll be a hard charger. I'll take both. I'll just do both of them. I'll just answer my phone every time, and I'll just get in my car 30 times a day.
Just wear a condom so you don't make a mess.
Yeah. Well, there's people that actually have that problem where they have uncontrollable orgasms.
There's a condition.
Yeah. And it ruins their lives. Like they can't have a job or they can't have a relationship or whatever because it's like the most random. It's the worst peekaboo of your life.
Persistent genital arousal disorder.
Yeah.
Originally called persistent sexual arousal syndrome, is spontaneous, persistent, or unwanted and uncontrollable genital arousal in the absence of sexual stimulation or sexual desire.
Would you rather give someone AIDS or have to have AIDS?
Whatever gets me in the ground quicker.
Okay, well, what I would do is I would just give an old person AIDS that's at a nursing home that's super old or a hospice center, and they're already dying anyways. They're not even going to know.
Go to a cancer hospital.
Speaking of nursing homes, I'm going to say this idea, and I'm sure that people are going to find this grotesque, but I'm going to be able to use it. So here's a way of betting on, you could place bets on old people. So you have your assisted livings, your nursing home, and your hospice centers. You plant cameras everywhere in these areas, and then these buildings, and then you place bets on like who's gonna go. And like hospice is like dollar bets, like $15, $20, you make 60 or something like that because they're already going. Nursing homes a little bit more because they're a little lively. And then assisted living, dude, you're making your buku bucks because those people they're just there. They've still got like 10 years left,
Yeah,
15. So you could make like thousands of dollars if Brenda goes, like on a
she just stays living.
yeah, yeah. Well, no, she dies. The whole point is who dies. Yeah, it's not about who living, it's about who dies. And so like you place cameras everywhere and you have names like, Betty, Linda, Chuck,
It's like
whatever.
it's like Big Brother, but in nursing homes and a lot less sexual tension.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think it could be a real big hit on the black market.
Oh yeah, I bet. I mean, it'd be like the
And
Squid Game type shit.
well, and speaking of that, in nursing home and vet, there were some nursing home employees that got fired or got charged with a crime because they were holding fight clubs. So they would
Hell
force
yeah.
old people to fight,
Hell yeah.
and like I mean old too with like
I
dementia.
could get in on that. Well, yeah,
See,
fuck
but
them. They're not gonna remember.
mine's better. Now, here's the only problem though is if you get an insider on where these nursing homes are, you could pay a nurse to like flub up and accidentally kill one of these people and you make a couple thousand or something. So that would be my only real like, there'd be a little gray area like I don't know. So, but morality wise, I mean, yeah, you're betting on the person to die, but you're not making it.
Speaking of old people dying, Spotify and Liquid Death bring music to the afterlife with the Eternal Playlist Earn and Playlist Generator.
What a waste of money.
It says, need help putting together a soundtrack you'll want to listen to forever? As part of our partnership with Liquid Death from Spotify, we're also debuting the Eternal Playlist Generator for Spotify users in the US. Here's how it works. Head to the Eternal Playlist Generator, answer a few questions like what's your eternal vibe? Or what's your go-to ghost noise? Based on your answers and your Spotify listening history, you'll get a personalized mix fit for a lifetime and beyond. You can share your Eternal playlist with friends, and if you own the Eternal playlist Earn, sync it straight to the built-in speaker for maximum otherworldly vibes. So my question to you is,
Yeah.
what would be on your Eternal playlist?
I would like to make a couple comments before I answer this. One, what a stupid idea. Only dumb white people are going to do this.
Well, yeah, because white people are the richest, so they're the ones that can afford it.
Well, okay. You're really making my job real hard with the editing.
Well, Gavin Newsom can say it. Why can't I?
Here's the thing. You're a bowl of dust. You're not going to listen to anything. You're going to be an eternal rest dummy. Not only that, but like imagine like again, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. You're hungry. You want a bowl of cereal. You're trying to fix something. All of a sudden, you hear like
staying alive.
Yeah.
Staying alive.
You hear like a red bone in the back and you're over on the mantle and you're freaking out. You know what? You hear dog pound. And
Well, it also says what's your go-to ghost noise, so you could just hit them with a
yeah. Or if you're schizophrenic
at 2 a.m.
and you do that, dude, and you're like tripping balls because you think you're hearing stuff. See, the smart thing to do is if you're really going to promote it, it would be inside the coffin. You would just run a wire up to like a solar panel, keeps it charged.
Set it right on top of your headstone.
Yeah, exactly. And just let other people
have it molded into the headstone itself.
But as far as like on a playlist, I mean, I'm not gonna go into like 10 songs, but I'd have classical music.
Pink Pony Club on repeat for eternity.
Yeah. Well, I would pick like classical music like Bach or Beethoven, something that like, maybe some oldies, no hard rock,
So sophisticated.
I'm a sophisticated guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think the first thing when someone says that's like what a dumb idea. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You're a very inward with an I person.
No. You are an inward with an I.
Yeah.
With an I. I don't know, dude. I just think that this is definitely that was made up by white people or maybe Asians. But either way, it's to make money. So there might be some other people involved. Yeah, well, it's for money, so there might be some other people involved.
Well, it's only in the U.S. Available for purchase now in the U.S. in limited quantities.
Well, do you know where there's a lot of these people that live other than the Middle East? New York and Miami. Put that together. If you know, you know. Yeah, they're all the management and attorneys. But yeah, man, I don't know.
I think I think I'd be in it for the vibes. Like maybe some Aerosmith, some like Run DMC, definitely Pink Pony Club.
If you were
Because
to do this, I would call your
that's
wife once a month and leave angry voicemails. It's so serious.
because I don't know what it is about that song, but every time it comes on, I turn into a Pink Pony girl.
That song "Choosing Texas," that is another great song that I like.
It's one of them songs that gets in your head and you can't get it out.
Yeah, "We Will Rock You" is another one. That's
Yeah.
another one that just stays in your
Well,
head.
you'd probably get like a Weird Al, like "We Will Cock You" or something.
I can't stand Weird Al. What a terrible man. What
What?
a yeah, dude. I hate goofy songs. I cannot stand funny songs. Like I just can't. I can't deal.
I was a huge fan, and I not that I'm not a fan of Weird Al, but I've grown up a little bit, and that's not something that's on my like top listens or whatever. But man, when I was a kid, Weird Al was the man. I loved Weird Al as a kid.
What's my face look like right now? If you could tell like how I'm feeling, like what am I doing?
You're making fun of me in your head.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
calling me
judging you
gay.
hard. Yeah, the first thing I was like, what a queer. I mean, to each their own, bro. If that's what made you pop, then that's what made you pop. I never got into funny songs. And it's not because I don't like funny things. It's just songs.
No, that's why. Zero sense of humor. It's okay.
We're gonna have a conversation about our friendship after this.
Uncultured. It's fine.
I get verbally abused every Saturday, every weekend. I get verbally abused, and then
Well,
when I
see,
hit the stop record, it's sexually assaulted and abused and harassed. So
you make fun of me with your face, and I make fun of you with my words.
I mean, I call you gay. I mean, I make fun of you. I say,
You got a little wiener, haha, nerd.
yeah.
Go outside, touch grass with your wiener, your tiny little micro wiener. Haha.
What's funny is I think you're a funny guy. You make me laugh, Colton. I think you're a funny guy. That's all.
You gonna get your dick out?
Yeah, I will actually, because you'd like that, wouldn't you, queer boy? Anyways, little gay boy walking around being all gay.
I think you're projecting. I think that's what that is.
You caught me. You caught the projector. You caught me. That's what it is. Yeah, you're right.
Call you fucking Epson from now on.
Yeah, Epsom salt.
Epson projectors.
Well, I don't. Who knows the name of the projecting company, bro? Who knows these offhanded, like, oh, it's actually an Epson? Nobody. Not one soul other than you thought about that. Yeah. Okay, so here's some randoms. All right. Here's some randoms. Let's see. The Great Emu War in 1932, the Australian military declared war
Australia.
on emus that were destroying crops. Despite using machine guns, the army lost. And the emus were too fast and clever. Dude,
Fucking
that
nerds.
is
Well,
fucking
yeah.
wild.
Back in the 30s, your car only did like 7 miles an hour, so that makes sense.
They had
Emus are
planes
fast
in
as
the
fuck.
30s. They had planes.
Yeah, well, Australia isn't even like a real place, so
Fun fact, if anybody didn't know this, what happened was they had a bunch of prisoners in the UK and they put them all on ships and they took them right to Australia. And then guess what? Here we go. And now you can't have guns there. You can't have
yeah,
fun
that's
except unless you're
yep.
drinking or tackling
Well,
kangaroos.
you can have guns there. You just have to have I think you just have to have like it's almost like the UK where you have to have special permits and you can only have them for hunting and like you can't carry them for self-defense like you can here. Because like you have to like I listen to a podcast from Australia and he talks about it sometimes. Like you have to have like a special certification or something or some license to carry a rifle or a shotgun or something.
That's so
When
dumb.
here you can literally pick one up at Walmart and take it home with you.
All right. Ready for this nonsense?
America's number one, baby.
Ready for this nonsense?
I'm always
Okay.
ready for nonsense.
In
Sorry,
18
I'm
and
looking
30,
at Epson projectors.
what a thing to look at while we're trying to build something.
I just wanted to make sure that I was actually saying words that made sense and it wasn't just Epson doesn't make projectors, they only make printers.
Yeah.
But I was right. They do make projectors.
Wow, look at
Like
you.
they actually make like a shit ton of projectors.
Wow. Okay. All right. That matters.
They're black and white.
Jesus
And
Christ.
also
Lord
like
have mercy.
multicolored black and white.
I don't care. Let me say what I was going
And
to say.
they're like all the way from like $200 clear the hell up to here's one for $4,499.99. Who
I'm
the
sure
hell
that's
has
probably meant for a movie theater. That's probably meant for a movie theater.
Well, it's Epson Home Cinema, so yeah, you're kind of right.
1386, a pig in France was arrested, dressed in human clothes, and executed by hanging after being found guilty of murdering a child in court.
Murdering a child in a courthouse, or they
In
found him guilty in court.
murdering a child in court. So I don't know if they had courthouses back then. Maybe they did. I don't
It
think.
was
I
just like
think
a public hearing on a bunch of pews in the town square.
yeah. But I mean, basically, you can't get any more. Yeah.
Oh man, what a ride! What
Another
does
probably.
it say what the court or what the case was about? Like were they like they're discussing parking tickets and this hog comes out and mauls a child?
What I think it happens is he murdered. It says murdered in court, so I don't know if they found that like he actually killed the kid in court or they found him guilty in court. I'm
They
gonna
found
yeah.
him guilty of the murder
Hmm.
in court.
In court, yeah. So that's a fun little thing. This is a better, like more well-known, established thing. Is Lincoln's wrestling career. Before he was the president, Abraham Lincoln was an elite wrestler. Out of roughly 300 matches, he lost only once, and is in the National Wrestling Hall of Fame. Like,
That I didn't know.
yeah,
That's pretty.
yep, it is pretty
He's
cool. I would agree.
suplexing the slaves.
Yeah, he was just out here. Okay, here's another one. Yeah, he's just out here just throwing him over his head. Just yeah, suplex. Okay, John Quincy Adams in the Hollow Earth. President Adams approved an expedition to the North Pole to find a hole in the Earth, believing the planet was hollow and inhabited.
That is a conspiracy theory that I've heard before.
I have too.
When I first downloaded TikTok when we started doing this, I did a little deep dive on the giants and that about the sea or not the sea. Yeah, the Himalayan sea salt mines is actually petrified giants,
Yes,
and that was one of them that there's like a subterranean ecosystem or something under Antarctica, and it's been found, and that's why you're not allowed to go to Antarctica. And
I don't like
like
the way you
there's
say that.
Antarctica,
It's Antarctica. Yeah, but you make it like three
Antarctica,
different. You make it like three different Antarctica. Like you really
Antarctica.
Antarctica. Yeah, I just yeah. Say about.
About
Yeah, right. You had thought about it
yeah,
because he's
your
one of those
mama
about. He says about.
about
He says it. Yeah,
about.
about. Yeah, that's how he says it. He doesn't want to admit it. It's the only thing he doesn't
There's
fit in his little
there's a
southern twang.
there's a conspiracy theory too about Antarctica that like the poles on a globe
Yeah,
is actually nobody really understands like true north. If something about shut up. And I'm not entirely sure because I saw it on a TikTok video, so I could just be saying words that don't mean anything. But they're like, if the source of our gravity and the source of the magnetism in the earth comes from the core of the earth, why do compasses show you north and not just point towards the ground?
yeah,
When
that's fair.
like it was something to do with the flat earth or glizzy earth or something, like the
Well, it's
poles.
magnets. It's magnetized.
Right. And something about the poles, like if you look on Google Maps, there's a black hole in the top of the earth and one in Earth's asshole in Antarctica. And that's like they have to do some digging on that to actually say words that make sense, because I know I just sound like a fucking idiot right now.
No, no. I've heard things about that, and as far as flat Earth, people usually go biblically too because they'll say that it talks about the pillars of the earth and
And the firmament and all that.
well, the firmament that's when the flood happened, the firmament ceased to exist because it opened. That firmament was water, so
Yeah,
it came down.
right.
And it talks about the earth being the Lord's footstool and things like that. I've got two more that I want to knock off you real quick. This is the surgery with the surgery with a 300% mortality rate. Dr. Robert Liston once performed an amputation so fast he accidentally cut off his assistant's fingers. Both the patient and the assistant died of infection, and a spectator died of a heart attack from shock. But there was another. I don't know if it's the same
What
guy,
a
but there was
pussy.
Yeah. Well, there's another doctor like back in the day in England that his all his patients basically died. Um,
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. And then there was another one and another France one. This is another France one. The Dancing Plague of 1518. Hundreds of people in Strasbourg, France, or someone's going to say that's not how you pronounce it. In France, started dancing
Well,
uncontrollably.
we're dumb Americans, so we don't know how to say words.
Yeah, of course. They started dancing uncontrollably for weeks. Many died of exhaustion, stroke, or heart attacks. Hundreds of people.
That's pretty intense. That's a hell of a stroke party.
Just, I mean, when music back then, I mean, they probably weren't even dancing to music. They were just dancing. Like they just was out there
They're
just,
just dancing because it was some
yeah.
bullshit like polka or something.
Well, Cleopatra's timeline. Cleopatra lived closer in time, 1969 moon landing, than to the building of the Great Pyramids in Giza, of Giza.
Say that again.
Lived closer in timeline to the 1969 moon landing than to the building of the Great Pyramids of Giza. So she was closer in time to us landing on the moon
Yeah.
than she was to, yeah, which is just
I
wild.
always assumed she was a lot. Yeah, I always assumed that she was a child, wasn't she, Cleopatra?
No, she was an adult. I mean, she married Caesar, Julius Caesar. I'm almost positive. Like she was in the. I think she had a kid too. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that she. Yeah, she. Yeah, that's one. Do you think we landed on the
So
moon?
I would like to believe that we did, but there's a lot of red flags on that deal. The multiple shadow directions, the flag waving in zero atmosphere. Also, who put the camera out to watch Neil Armstrong come out of the moon lander or whatever they called it?
I would
Who
like to
put
think.
that out there?
I would like to think we did as well, but here's the reason why I think we did and we just didn't go back is because why would we go back?
They saw something.
Yeah, but I think it's like okay, let's just say they didn't see something. Why would you go back to the moon if you already did it once? Like what's the point? If you can't set up a base there, if you can't do anything with it, then you're just spending millions of dollars going back to somewhere. Now, with Kubrick
Well,
making filming it, like making a second filming in a studio and all this stuff, there are a lot of red flags that I don't think the people, the public in the 60s and 70s knew about, that we do now, that we know now. But I mean, we're supposed to be going back.
people back then was a little more stupider,
I don't think it was
a
stupider. I think it was
little
just a
more
lack
easy,
of
little.
It's just lack of
Well,
information.
that and they didn't. Yeah, that's probably what it was because we have the entire internet at our disposal at any given time, and people then were limited to what they heard on the radio, what they saw on TV. That I would imagine back then it was a little harder to do your own research and look up the stuff that we can look up now.
You have to go to the library and use the Dewey Decimal System. Of course, it was hard.
Fuck that. I've never when I was a kid and they taught us the Dewey Decimal System, I was like, what do I need to learn this for? I'm just gonna go down the row and look for what I want. I don't need to know numbers to pick my book.
I remember them
I
trying to
don't
teach us
read
that, and I
books
just didn't
anyway.
really.
Reading's for queers.
I read all the time, so call me hunched over.
Queer.
So you're so funny. You're such a fun guy. I don't need books.
So
I got
here's
pictures.
that's right. Antarctica has a secret passage to hollow Earth, according to this next conspiracy theory. Blah 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 blah. Earth is hollow, and the only way to get inside is via a 1,400-mile wide hole in Antarctica. The theory suggests that you could walk over the edge of the hole without even realizing it, just like an ant walking over the lip of a glass. The idea of a hollow earth was first mentioned in 1818 by John Symes, an American Navy officer. However, it gained traction when apparently a lost diary of Admiral Richard E. Byrd was found that details his encounter with the underground race whilst trying to build a U.S. research base at the South Pole. According to this lost diary, he visited the Pentagon to share news of this new race he had met, but was ordered to keep quiet. As for debunking this Antarctic myth, there really isn't much to debunk. There is no evidence that the lost diary is real, and a giant hole twice the size of Greenland would surely show up on satellite images of Antarctica, wouldn't they? That's just what the government wants you to think. You look it on Google. Well, I mean, if you think about it, The Google Earth photo that they want us to see is bullshit. Earth looks way different than what they're showing us. For one, they're leaving out all the space junk that orbits Earth, whether it's satellites or just trash or,
You can track that.
tiny comets that, it's not what they show us. Like if you zoom out on Google Maps, that's not what Earth looks like. It's not as green and round and perfect as they want you to think it is. So who's to say they're not? I'll never see Antarctica, so
Okay.
I don't know any different. Who's to say that they're not just editing that out and there is actually and Earth is actually hollow?
If I
But
were a
then you
government,
think,
go ahead.
well, volcanoes and stuff.
Well, if you want to talk about, okay, so you made me think, if I were a government in control, I'd want the people to think that there's so many conspiracies out there that everything's a conspiracy. So nothing seems real. I want the devil to be a lie, so no one thinks he's real. So you can do whatever you want. First that. When it comes to volcanoes, it's funny you bring that up. The year without a summer, in 1816, a massive volcanic eruption in Indonesia caused a volcanic winter in the US. It snowed in New England in June and July, leading to widespread crop failures.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Trump's fault.
Yeah, it's all Trump's fault. He did it.
Trump did it.
That madman did it. Yeah, that loose-haired red man did it.
Yeah.
The Straw Hat Riot. Okay, 1922, multiple day riot broke out in New York City because men were being mocked and attacked for wearing straw hats after the socially acceptable date of September 15th. So, like, they wore their hats past September 16th, 15th, and people just started getting
It's
mad
like wearing
and
white
just
after
mocking.
Labor Day.
Yeah, just people were pissed about it. The first U.S.
That's so dumb.
Yeah,
Go fuck yourself. I wear my hat if I want.
Yeah,
I
dude.
paid
Okay.
for it. You didn't.
Yeah. Well,
Just
okay.
lick my
The
butthole.
first $1 bill faced George Washington wasn't the first person on the $1 bill. It was Samuel P. Chase, the Secretary of Treasury, who put his own face on the note in 1862. There's no one better than me. I should be in there. That boy's chasing P.
That's right.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, dude.
Did you hear about
like,
I heard about it on the radio the other day, the Shia LaBeouf story from Mardi Gras last
I already got into a fight, and no, it was this year, I thought, because him and
Well,
his
this
wife
is
got a
from-
divorce.
Yes, dude. He's been arrested. The judge set a $100,000 bond. He allegedly assaulted two men outside a New Orleans bar after being thrown out during the holiday festivities. Police confirmed to USA Today that LaBeouf struck one nearby man multiple times using his closed fists and punched another in the nose. He was later arrested and charged with 2 counts of simple battery. I thought he was fighting queers.
Well,
That's what
okay.
I thought he was doing.
So what I read.
The court judge expressed concern for the LGTV community and the safety of this larger community, especially relative to a marginalized community that has gone through so much terror.
Oh my gosh, dude, that's so stupid. Okay, so he
briefly left the area, but then returned and began acting even more aggressive while several people nearby attempted to hold him down. He allegedly hit the same man a second time, also with closed fists, in his upper body and punched the other man in the nose. LaBeouf was restrained again until authorities arrived, after which he was taken to a hospital for treatment per police. That's a hate crime. You can't be doing that.
He moved to New Orleans because him and his wife got a divorce. Before that, he was on this hardcore like Catholic journey. After playing a role of Padre Pio, which is this Catholic monk who started to grow like a bleeding sore right here and right here, almost like Christ. And it's been known that he was in 2 places at once. He could read people's hearts. This guy was very well known in the Catholic world. Yeah, and it's all documented. And so he went on this whole Catholic journey. Here's the thing, dude. If you're going to go out and do stuff, the problem is you're Shia LaBeouf. Everybody knows between the ages of like 20-something and 40-something who you are. You're in Transformers,
you've
dude.
been kind of delegitimized. Yeah, well, that and the do it.
Yeah, but he came back from that.
He kind of fell off the wagon there.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he came back. He came back. He made some good movies. I mean, it wasn't like he, it's the same thing. And I bring it up every time, and people are going to be upset with me. But Mel Gibson, he fell off the wagon. He said some crazy things,
Yeah. Well,
and he came back.
so did like Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, but Charlie
Charlie
Sheen,
Sheen fell off
Tiger
the
Blood,
wagon
bro.
hard as hell.
Yeah,
Yeah, but now he's on the up and up and is like really philosophical these days. He just was he on Joe Rogan or Theo Vaughn's pod? I think he was on Theo Vaughn's podcast, and he went into some deep shit. It was actually kind of funny coming from him.
well, the funny
But
thing is about the whole HIV thing, like him giving like multiple people HIV and just not saying anything about it. It's kind
yeah,
of,
yeah, I forgot about that.
it's
Yeah,
like, it's not that people aren't redeemable. I believe that people can be redeemable. I believe in Christ, but like I think that like bro, you gotta if you look, if I'm Shia LaBeouf, if I'm super famous, I am not gonna go to a bar and get hammered. I'll get a little tipsy, and if I feel like I want to keep going, I'll
right.
go back to my house. You know what I'm saying? And like get some of my friends together, and then we can hang out and party. But like, and another thing with the LGTV stuff, there's this video of this. It was in
How dare
Canada.
you?
Yeah.
They're a very impoverished people.
Well, there's a video of this. I think it was in Canada where this. It was like an event, so you had to pay to get in. It was like $60, and this extremely Caucasian woman with a septum piercing had dreads
Mm-hmm.
and like wool in her hair. Well, they would not let her in the
I bet
the
she smells
event.
like pee.
Well, no, she looked rather clean. It looked like it was just like fake dreads. I could be wrong, but they wouldn't let her in because of a culture appropriation. Like she stole that hairstyle from. She goes, "I'm my ancestors are Vikings. They did this too."
God.
And she's
Yeah.
like, either let me in or give me my money back. And they gave her money back, and she goes, "I'm being discriminated against." And it's like, yeah, you guys are doing to everybody else what you were totally opposed of before.
That's the
And so it's like,
that's the tolerant left.
yeah.
They tolerate everybody that's exactly like them, and if you're not, then you can go fuck yourself.
But I'm pretty sure she was a lesbian. She had tattoos and piercings. She identified with the community and was there to support, paid $60 and camped out for a week. Like sat out there and like camped somewhere, and like this was a whole thing. And they still were like, not good enough. You
Dang.
signed this waiver, and this waiver says
Yeah,
you
nah,
can't
sorry
have
about
hair
you.
like that. Yeah. Yeah, dude. I mean, wild. Wild. I shake my head at the nonsense, my guy. I shake my head at the
Yeah.
nonsense.
Yeah. It's the mostly for me it's the hypocrisy of it all. Dude, have you been following Gavin Newsom here recently? Like he's
I
just openly racist as hell. It's
Yeah, I
actually
can't. The whole I
hilarious.
can't read thing. Is that what it is?
I
Like I
can't
can't read.
read I can't read speeches, and he showed up to an interview wearing jeans and Jordans to try to assimilate with the community. Like it's awful. And he thinks that he's doing so good, but it's like, dude, you are so out of touch. You just being openly racist for no reason.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
you're
it's because
telling
like
you're telling you're telling black people and minorities, I'm just like you. I can't read. Really? And just like the voter ID situation. Well, black people don't have birth certificates. Black people don't have passports. 2/3 of black people don't have passports. I bet 2/3 of white people don't have passports.
yeah, it's a real idea. Yeah,
Like,
because why? We don't need to go over there.
yeah, right. We don't need to leave here. Actually, speaking of that, there's a creator that I follow. Him and his buddy are both from the UK, and they said that they were like, most Americans don't have passports or know a second language or have ever been outside the US because they don't need to.
Yeah.
Every state inside the US is basically a separate country. You don't need a passport to go to it. He's like from my house I can be into Germany in 45 minutes or go to Poland in a couple hours. It's the same thing. They just don't need a passport to do it there. And the US is so vastly different between the plains and the mountains and the tropical zones, the southern states, Florida, SoCal, Hawaii. Well, I mean, Hawaii is kind of its own thing out there, but you know what I mean.
Florida.
And yeah, but it's like we don't need to go anywhere. So
Yeah.
like to go back to that, most Americans, I'm sure, don't have a passport. It's not a race thing. It's just that nobody fucking has them. And I can't imagine just he's so stupid. There's
Well,
no
why would
other
you
word
want
for it. He's just
why
so
would you want a
stupid.
leader that can't read speeches? Why would you want that? I don't want a leader that
Yeah,
can't read
exactly.
speeches. Like what a moron. Well, and if you talk about
Yeah.
if we're talking about like political leaders, there's a congressman, U.S. Representative Tony Gonzalez, who slept with a staff member. It got leaked. He has a family of
Hell
six.
yeah.
She has a family. Well, hang on. And she
Hell no.
killed herself because of the leaks that happened. And she either lit herself
No.
on fire or something. And now that guy, Brandon
Well, that's a
Herrera,
hell of a way to go.
yeah, and now that guy Brandon Herrera, that YouTuber, is trying to get a spot because,
Yeah.
well, and that Congressman Gonzalez has been openly talking smack about Brandon Herrera for a long time. So come full circle, and you're out here
Yeah.
you ruin two marriages. The kids aren't going to have a mother. And if you look, there's screenshots of the text
Right.
messages, and she's like, "I don't want to do this. We're going too far." And he kept pushing it and pushing it, and it's just like, dude, it's so bad. These politicians like Gavin Newsom, corruption. I'm sure he's a corrupt man. All these people are corrupt. I mean, everybody technically in the eyes of God are corrupt, but
100%.
like you said, I can't read speeches. Then why are you a
Yeah.
governor?
Or like when Xi Jinping came to the States and he came to California to visit, and he and Gavin Newscum cleaned up the streets, cleaned up all the trash. He relocated a bunch of homeless people to shelters and stuff. And when they asked him about it, he was like, "Well, you clean up your house when your friends come to visit." It's like, you ignorant motherfucker. You could have taken care of all this entire time, but you choose not to. Like, I can't imagine how anybody could be so far up their own ass to support somebody like that. It's like
Just so
liberalism is a mental disorder.
just so everybody aware, that Congressman, that
Just
Gonzalez,
like,
is out
I
of San
mean,
Antonio.
yeah.
Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say it's that way on if you're so far in your own ass on either side, whether you're a liberal or a conservative or whatever side you're on. Fucking Bernie Sanders is a communist. Like, if you're so far up your own ass, like on both sides, it doesn't matter. You're in the same boat and you need to leave.
Do you want to hear a funny, not so funny story?
Sure.
Okay. So in the town, I'm not going to say what town it is. I'll just say it's adjacent. These cops get a prank phone call from somebody in West Lafayette. Somehow it ended up in this town, nowhere even near West Lafayette. These cops and sheriffs get an
Yeah, it's like
address.
2.5 hours from here.
Yeah, get a not credible address. So the street, so they said, "We know what, we'll go down the road," because there is a road called that here. They go down there, they find a house that doesn't match the address given, it's just similar. They surround the house. There's two elderly people inside and a dog. The cops didn't announce themselves. They just said, "Get out of the house, come out of the house." The elderly people let the dog out and open the door. The cops shoot the dog, take the elderly people out of the house, throw them to the ground, put them in patrol cars, search the house illegally. Okay. And they did it to a fire chief's in laws of the town. And so now the mayor's office, the police department, the sheriff's department are all getting sued. And it's going to federal court for like
Yeah.
false
Hell yeah.
imprisonment, breaking it, like, I'm not
Wow.
breaking and entering, but like entering the property and the home illegally, shooting the dog. All the charges they face are all
Yeah,
like
because
level 6
that was
felonies.
basically a no-knock raid.
Yeah. And all of it
Hell
is
yeah.
all based off of a call that wasn't even in the town they were in. And you can trace, and I told the person who told me this, I was like, "Do you know why this happened?" They're like, "Why?" I'm like, "Because it's a small town. And these cops have nothing better else to do." And they thought one of them could be a hero. Like, but you know what? I've called the mayor's office on a couple of issues, and the mayor's called me back. Like, he's not a bad guy. I don't think he's going to get in trouble for anything. but like the mayor's pretty cool. Now, when I was a teenager, he came to my house politicking, trying to get people to vote for him. And as a 15-year-old, I asked him questions and he gave me some good answers. But I've called him twice now on some issues, and he's actually called me back, has
Wow.
answered all my
That's
questions.
impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But I don't know. I think that it's just, and these cops, like I said, they're getting sued for all this, and there could be criminal charges brought onto these men because of it.
There should be.
I think the dispatcher should be too. I think the dispatcher who sent these people out there for no apparent reason at all should be
Right.
as well. Like just wild stuff. Anyways, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, to change the subject. So you know what I get to do tomorrow?
What do you get to do tomorrow?
My sister is coming over, and she's bringing her car, and so I get to look at that because whenever she turns right, it makes like a horrendous grinding, grumpy, growly sound. She says,
Grumpy, growly sound.
Grumpy, growly sound. And so your boy gets to dig into that and try to figure out what that's all about. And I'm really hoping that it's a wheel bearing and not a CV shaft, because she said when she turns, she can also feel it in her steering wheel, which I have felt that before, and I ended up having to take the entire front end apart in my 2500 Dodge and replace the U-joints in the steering knuckles. But obviously she drives a Lincoln MKS, the SUV, so it ain't got that. So that's gonna be a fucking CV shaft or something, and it's probably one of them things where I'm just psyching myself out, and I can definitely do it, but it's not something that I've ever done before. And I don't want to, if it was on my own rig, I'd probably take care of it, but it makes me nervous to do it on my sister's car.
Yeah.
And so I'm really hoping that it's a wheel bearing, because then it's take the wheel off, take the brake assembly off, and there's like 4 bolts, and you beat the CV shaft out of it, and away you go. Bob's your uncle.
Yeah.
But if it's a CV shaft, that's a little bit more intense. So she's coming over tomorrow, sometime before lunch, bringing her car over, because she asked me if she could bring it over tomorrow to have me look at it. And I said, yeah, but try to come before lunch if you can, so that way I've got time to fix it if it's fucked. So I'm really hoping it's 4 bolts and a hammer, and not having to rip the fucking CV shaft out of the front end.
You know what I get to do tomorrow?
What's that?
Me and a couple of my family members are going to go to a casino up north. And
oh yeah, that's why we're recording tonight, not tomorrow.
Yep,
because you're gonna go gamble and be a naughty boy.
First of all, I don't think it's naughty. Second of all, because I don't do it all the time. I don't do it a lot, and I want to play some blackjack. I want to play some blackjack, and I want to play some roulette. I love roulette. Funny little story here that I'm gonna make it real quick. We went one time with a friend, and it was my brother and I. No, it wasn't my brother and I take that back. It was my it was my cousin, and we were drinking, smoking, having a good time, right? We were having a great time, and my cousin was killing it. So he stops, and my other friend is killing it too, and it's his birthday. So we said we're gonna go up to the room, and we're gonna chill, smoke a little bit more, just chill. And it's like 1:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
So like 45 minutes later, I get a phone call, and he goes, "Dude, you got to come down here. They're trying to get me." I called one of the pit bosses. He called him a
fat stinky queer.
He called him, let's just say a faggot. And he called him that. And I guess that the pit boss was like a fat lesbian. And so it was like a scene out of a movie. We get down to the casino, like on the floor, and I see my friend, and he's got his chips in his hand, and he's looking like this, and you just see the security close in on him. Like there's like 6 security, yeah, and they're closing on him.
Like a scene out of a movie, like you said.
Yeah, they're just closing in on him, and so they kick him out. We're all drunk, and they're taking him up to his car, and I'm really worried about these security guards, because my friend's he's a very strong person, and he knows very much so how to fight, like very much so. trained and everything. And so I'm talking to the head of security on like third shift and the pit boss. I'm like, I'm really sorry for what he said, but I was like, you guys are gonna make us leave. We're drunk. You're gonna make us drive drunk. I was like, you can't. I was like, look, let us just take him up in the room. We'll stay there, and he won't come down for the rest of the night. Like, come on. Like, let's just do this. And so
Yeah.
finally they agree. They said he cannot return on the floor again. So I was like, you need to call your security and tell them that. So I run upstairs. I'm running to the parking garage, dude. I mean, sprinting. And I find him. I said, hey, your boss has probably told you we're allowed to stay. So we all get on the elevator. The two security people, which are super fat, out of shape people that would not be able to do anything. And the
Hell yeah.
whole time, my friend is just
They're just
running
they're
his.
just they're just there to look mean. That's all.
Yeah, dude. The whole time he's just running his mouth, bro. And so I tell them, we have to go across the floor to get on the side of the hotel. And they said, no, we don't. I was like, yes, we do. And so they walk us the wrong way. So we have to walk like a half a football field back through the floor. And he's talking the whole time. We have to go up another elevator to like the 20th floor. And then,
Jeez, ow.
yeah,
It's
bro.
a hell
And then,
of a hotel.
yeah. And I'm like, look, I can't let them in our room. We have stuff in our room. I can't let these guys in our room. I'm like, so listen, my friend, I was like, make sure that I'm the last one in. And so he gets my friend in, and then they're like, well, we can help you. And I said, I don't need your help. We're fine. This is our room. I'm okay. And I just slammed the door. And we walked down there the next morning, and I win $1,000, and my friend wins another 1,000, and my other friend wins 2,400 on the blackjack table.
Hell
And we
yeah.
walk out of there, bro. And I was like, dude, I could tell you some fun casino stories, but I used to go way more with them. We used to go a lot, but I haven't been to a casino, bro, in almost, I would say, maybe 2 years, maybe.
I've been to a casino one time, and it was for my mom and now stepdad's. Like, they shared a bachelorette party for all of us family. We all went down, and like we went down, it was in Indianapolis. So we went down to Top Golf, did some yeah, Top Golf was a blast. I really enjoyed it. Supposedly there's one coming to Fort Wayne, like they're building it.
I really hope so,
But
because that would be so
but
cool.
I don't know. From what I heard, it's not gonna be Top Golf branded, but it's gonna be Top Golf esque.
Okay.
But regardless, we went down there, did that, and when we were done on our way home, we swung through Noblesville and hit Hoosier Park, and I went in there with $50 playing the penny slots. I cashed out at $57, and I said, I will never do this again.
Dude, you should have played roulette.
Because no, because the reason I say that is because I have a bit of an addictive personality.
Mm-hmm.
Not crazy bad, but if I like the reason that I spent $50 to get the $57 was because I actually only went in with $20 in my wallet. And I got the other $30 from my then fiance, wife now. I lost it all my $20. It was gone in like 30 seconds. I was like, come on, give me some more. I need more money. I gotta feed this thing. I want to try to win my money back, and that is how it gets you. I want to win my money back. And then I finally hit. I burnt through all the $30 that she had, and on the very last spin, I hit $57, and I said, all right, good enough. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm never doing this again. The most gambling that I ever do is buying like lottery tickets, Powerball tickets.
Never bought one.
That's about all the gambling I do these days. Or like every year my grandpa will hand out dollar scratchers at Christmas.
Yeah.
But like I don't spend money on scratchers either.
So, a couple things. Casinos are depressing. They can be really fun and really cool, but they're super depressing. They watch people lose thousands of dollars. I've watched two grown men in my life cry at a blackjack table, separate times, but at a blackjack table. But at the same time, it can be really fun. I've had some great times there.
Yeah,
I've had a
I
really
bet.
good time.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I saw a video one time. This guy was transferring money like on a slot machine. The guy was recording behind him, was sitting at a slot machine, and
Super cool.
And he probably shit himself, but he transferred like $30,000 out of a bank account to this slot machine. And it was like the first thought that came into my head was no. But
Yeah,
also, that should be illegal.
it should. Yeah, well, it should be.
That is so predatory because of people like me. I'll go in there
Mm.
with $20 and say, "Oh no, come on, I can win it back." And then you got people like that is me times 1,000 transferring $30,000 out of a bank account to one specific slot machine
And
to
if you
try to
go,
win their money back. And it's like, oh my God, you feel bad for people like that, but also they took themselves there.
yeah, and if you go to a casino and you really want to gamble, you have to take at least $400 to $500. Like if you want to play like some blackjack or you want to play roulette, like you now here's the thing: you could take 100, you could take 400, go put 100. See, that's why I love roulette is because there's so many options that you can do. And honestly, the best one is a 50-50 between the colors. You can either now if you hit green or like one, but like it's red or black, you get a 50-50 chance. So if I put 100 down on black and it lands on black, then I get another 100 back. Okay, cool. But you can bet on numbers, you can bet on like individual like lanes, so like this group of numbers, this group of numbers, this group of numbers. You can put it in the middle of three different numbers or two different numbers, and if it hits that one you get half. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many different ways. And blackjack's fun. I don't really like Texas Hold'em very much, but I love blackjack. And my cousin is a killer. Like that guy, I've seen him do some crazy things on a blackjack table. But to kind of switch topics a little bit here, and you're probably, if you don't want to answer, you don't have to. But okay, if you had to watch, I'm gonna ask you a ranking system here. Okay, and they're gonna be totally separate sides of the board. Okay, would
Duckbill
you
platypus.
such a gay thing to want to be as a platypus, bro? When you told me that, I was like, gay. Would you would you rather watch Waterboy? Okay, all right, or would you rather watch American Gangster? Two totally separate movies, I understand, but it's a fair question.
Never seen American Gangster, so I'd probably lean more towards American Gangster just because I have never seen it.
What's going on? Like, what do you not? What's going on with you, bro? You've never seen.
I
What's
used to be
going
able
on?
to quote the SpongeBob movie.
It doesn't help your case. I'm upset right now. You never seen? Have you ever seen the Godfather movies?
No,
What the is wrong with you? Okay. Have you seen The Town?
doesn't ring a bell.
My God. Okay. Goodwill Hunting.
I have seen most of that movie.
I don't believe you. I don't believe a word you just said. What about A Beautiful Mind?
To be honest, I've never heard of that. Never heard it.
What about Patch Adams with Robin Williams? Oh my Good Morning Vietnam.
I've seen that video.
It's a whole movie. It's a whole
Never seen
movie.
I quote that is one
So
of
if
the
you
most
say the
quoted.
SpongeBob movies, I swear to God.
No, I saw the original one with David Hasselhoff. I've heard that the new one is pretty ass.
What movie are you talking about?
The SpongeBob movie.
I could give a shit about.
You said it.
You're bringing
You
out
said it.
curse words. I don't like to curse. And okay, first of all, for everybody that knows, this man hasn't watched Old Country for Old Men or No Country for Old Men. No Country for
I
Old Men.
started it.
Yeah, but he's
I
never watched the
started
whole
it.
thing through. You know, we live once, and it shouldn't be in front of a TV. But I feel like you're doing yourself such a disservice by not just going out there and just watching some brilliant movies. I mean, American Gangster. What about Training Day? Have you ever seen Training Day?
What's that one about?
Denzel Washington's an LA detective, and he has a trainee with him, and he takes them all through the hood and makes them do wild stuff. The trainee almost gets killed, and Denzel Washington's doing bad things and eventually gets killed. Okay. What about Hustle and Flow? What about Paid in Full?
I've seen Soul Plane. Is that kind of the
If
same?
you keep giving these movies while I'm saying
All right.
masterpieces,
Soul
dude,
Plane
is
is a cinematic
terrible
masterpiece.
movie.
No,
Yes.
it is.
Yes.
I'm more into the slapstick bullshit movies like that, like
Okay, old
like
school's
Airplane,
fine.
Naked Gun.
Naked Gun's fine, I guess. Blazing Saddles.
Seen Blazing Saddles. Well, so when I was a kid, I saw it, and it was on the cover. It was Gene Wilder and that black fella. I don't know his name, but it was I saw a picture of it or something, and it was just a couple of dudes riding on horses. I was like, "Ooh, Mom, we should watch this," and she was like, "You will never watch that movie." and so I just haven't.
Because mommy
I've
said
heard.
so when you were 8. You haven't watched.
Yeah, yeah,
that was
yeah.
13
That one I've seen. 13 Hours. Is that the one about
about
Benghazi?
Benghazi. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Okay.
Yep.
Have you seen Sherlock Holmes, the one with Robert Downey Jr.?
Yeah, I was just gonna
Okay.
say with Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, I've seen that one. How
Okay.
many? Wasn't there 2 or 3 of those made?
I think there
'Cause
was
I
2.
yeah, I never saw the second one.
Okay.
Saw the first one though.
Wow, that's neat. Tickle me fancy. What about
The
the little whorehouse, this littlest something whorehouse in Texas? I can't remember now. Burt Reynolds and Dolly Parton. I can't remember. I don't know. I watched it when I was stoned.
no. Okay, now you're just trying to dig a hole and throw me in it, and here we are. You're just spewing words that don't mean anything.
I can talk about almost every single movie I've quoted in detail. The Patriot with Mel Gibson, Die Hard. I mean, the Prey, Predator versus A. Okay, to be fair, I didn't like the Alien movies, the official franchise. I thought it was gay. Predator movies, okay. Same thing with like Freddy versus Jason or Freddy Krueger. Those movies didn't scare me because it's like get a gun, you know, the
You
gayest of
can't kill
films.
you can't kill Freddy Krueger because he's in your dreams.
Yeah, but you can pray. That would make it go away. Start praying. Pray to Christ. Done. Done deal. Done deal.
I had a nightmare the other night. Woke me up out of a dead sleep. That was pretty fun.
Is it where you
It
were
was
straight?
like, yeah. No, no, no. No, it was like a Twilight Zone kind of a thing. It was like I was leaving this house, left a party or something, or maybe I was living there or something, and I got in my car and I drove away. But then the next town that I came to was the one that I just left.
Oh,
And
that's weird.
yeah, and so then like every turn that I made through that town led me right back to that house where I just left. And then I'd go back in, do my thing, come back out, try to leave, and it was just the same thing over and over and over again. I would leave, next town I come to was the town that I was just in. Every turn I made was right back to that house. And then I zoomed out of my own dream and saw like it was like, what do the numbers mean, Mason? Like I could see the path on a computer screen that I'd been taking. Like they had it all, like whoever was watching me had it all mapped out. It was almost like the Maze Runner. You ever seen that movie?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, so it was almost like that, where it was like somebody was watching me do this loop, and then I zoomed back into my own body, but before I could figure out how to actually break the cycle in the Twilight Zone that I was in, I woke up.
Yeah.
And it was like breathing real heavy at like it, and so I went to bed at like 7 o'clock the other night because I had to get up early. I woke up at fucking 10:30. It was I checked my phone. It said it was 10:29 when I woke up. And I was like, "You've got to be kidding me right now."
The Maze Runner I'll never watch again.
Why is that?
Because I don't like gay movies. So I don't. Yeah.
Well,
It's like whatchamacallit. What's it called? I don't even know what it's called. My wife loved them. The
Twilight.
Hunger Games. The Hunger Games.
See the Hunger. I'd know the first one I really enjoyed. Was it the second one where they kind of fall in love and that, and they're going to this different city to do a tour or something? I didn't really like. They should have stopped after the first one. I feel like it's like the same thing with like the Smokey and the Bandit. They should have stopped after the first one.
The Hunger Games, I went and saw the second one in theaters with a girl, right? And then my cousin called me the next day and was like, hey, we're going to go to the movies. You know, you want to come? And I said, yeah, sure. And I didn't say anything about going to see the Hunger Games.
Oh, I'm going to come.
And yeah, coming. And so I went to the bathroom and I said, I gave him money for the ticket. I was like, here, just buy my ticket, whatever we're going to go see. And so they're waiting for me. And I said, what are we going to go see? And they're like, the Hunger Games. I was like, I just watched this. Okay. So when we went, there was barely anybody there, but like the girl and I. But when my cousins and I went, it was packed. And he sits us in the middle of like the middle row. And at either end are two fat people, like one here on this end. And on the other end, here and here, there's two fat people. So I'm hot. My other cousin won't stop talking during the movie. I'm getting annoyed.
I hate that.
Yeah, I hate that. And then when I go to the restroom, this lady who is ginormous gives me a dirty look when I say, excuse me. And I said, well, it's not my fault you're fat. And so she She goes like this with her popcorn and she throws it on me. And I am like, well, aren't you sad, piggy? Now you have to go get up and get more food.
Quiet,
S-
quiet,
Quiet,
piggy.
piggy. And so
You
she,
hit her with the original quiet, piggy.
yeah, dude. And I'm not lying. I sat outside, like I played arcade games at the movie theater, and then I got something to drink, and I just sat outside and hung out for the rest of the movie. And my cousin's like, "Where'd you go?" And I was like, "I'm never ever watching these shitty movies ever again." And just after that, I was like, "You know what? Here, real quick, Ted." I went and watched Ted in theaters, and then I went and watched Ted 2. Took my brother to go see that, and those were funny movies at the time.
Yeah, those are now not just at the time. They hold up.
Hmm. I wasn't. The second one was funny, but the first one always takes the cake. Anything with, I know Vince Vaughn's not in Ted, but anything with Vince Vaughn in it is hilarious. Except he's played some serious
Yeah.
roles, but anything with Vince Vaughn in it, Fred Claus is hilarious. I think Fred Claus is one of the funniest movies I've ever watched as far as Christmas movies.
Yeah.
Your lack of enthusiasm is shown when we started talking about movies.
No, I was trying to think of Fred. That might be one I haven't seen. Fred Claus.
Yeah. Well, why would you? Why would you watch something good? And
Well,
that's
I'm also not like a real big cinema head either.
I love
You know,
movies.
like if there's not, don't get me wrong, I love movies too, but I don't think I've been to a movie theater in 10 years.
The last Bad Boy movie, the last Bad Boy movies, that was the last time I went to the movie theater. So that was over like 5 years ago.
I was gonna say I don't even know when that one came out.
It was a garbage movie. I wish they would have never
I
came out
bet.
with it. It was
Was
Will
that
Smith
Bad
is
Boys
still.
Forever or something like that?
Yeah, and Martin Lawrence was cool, but
Wasn't
like
that?
it seemed like Will Smith was putting on like too hard of a ghetto vibe. Like it just
Yeah.
seemed
Well, yeah, he's
forced.
trying to get his manhood back after getting his heart ripped out from Jada Pinkett, getting airing out all their dirty laundry about her cheating on him for fucking 40.
On a podcast, and then she brings him on the podcast to talk about it. And it's now, first of all, the artist that she did sleep with, that Augustine whatever, August, he's a great artist. He had some bangers back in the day. I used to bump him all the time. But not only that, but then he goes and slaps Chris Rock for not even that bad of a
Yep.
joke, and
No, it was, yeah. It's not like, yeah.
it
It's
was a
not like
rough
he
time.
like made fun of her bush or do something, you know.
Okay, I don't think she has one.
Like,
I think she.
probably not. She's losing all her hair. But yeah, it was like that to me was a more violent equivalent to husbands posted on Facebook, this girl right here, I just love her so much, when you know they're going through some shit. Like I used to, it's funny, and if she ends up watching this, she's going to know exactly I'm talking about her. But when they were, and it's fine because she fucking hates him now, but when she was going through her divorce, her ex-husband, father of 2 of her children, would do that all the time, like post selfies of her and this girl right here, she's the love of my life. I can't believe I couldn't do this without her, and blah blah blah. And like everybody know, you know what I mean? Everybody knows.
Yeah,
When
that's
you start doing shit like that, everybody knows. Or like when like I'm no, my profile picture on Facebook is just me, but for several years it was a picture of me and my wife on our wedding night. And when I changed my Facebook profile picture, I got 2 or 3 text messages. Hey, is everything okay? It's like, yeah, everything's fine. Why? Because of the optics, you know.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
a couple years ago, because like me and my wife, we don't post on Facebook, 1, about each other, 2, anything really. I don't think the last time I shared something was probably middle of last year, and the time before that was probably the end of the year before. And so it might have been a year or 2 ago, I made my own like Father's Day post. I posted, and this was before we decided we're not putting the kids on the internet anymore. And so I posted a picture of we have 4 now, but then I think it was just the 2. I said, thanks for making me a dad. It's my greatest adventure. But it was just because it was Father's Day and she doesn't post on Facebook. So I was like, well, I'll do something, just to
Yeah.
make it look like I give a shit. And my mom called me. I was like, hey, is everything okay with you guys? I was like, yeah, everything's fine. Why? Well, you made your own Father's Day post. So I was just checking. It's like, no,
Yeah.
Mom, Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Like we're not going through anything right now. But she doesn't post on Facebook, so I made my own. Well, and then so I told my wife that. She was like, "Do you really want me to make you a Father's Day post?" I was like, "I don't give a shit." Like,
If
but
you're,
it's the court of public opinion on stuff like that.
yeah, no, for sure. I must be.
But yeah, that always, huh?
First of all, if you're going through divorce or whatever and you post things like this woman I can't live without, first of all, you're not a man.
Yeah,
You've lost that manhood and you're so connected to this woman you can't just go away. And if your mom called you and said like, "Well, did you make me a Father's Day post cuz I'm your son and I gave you
yeah,
grandkids?" Did you do
yeah.
that? Oh,
I gave
okay.
you
Well,
grandkids.
yeah.
I
Are
gave you
you
your I gave you your first biological grandkids, by the way,
Yeah. Don't
because
count them
my kids
step
are
none.
older than my sister's kids. Yeah, don't yeah, that ain't blood.
Yeah, they well, they don't run here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because well, my stepsister's my stepsister's oldest, I think he's 12 or 13 now. So they've been around a while, but my oldest is 5. My sister's oldest is 2, because he's 2 or 3 weeks older than my third, and she just had a baby last month. And then my stepbrother, their baby is 6 months old.
Yeah.
So like the rest of us, well, I guess we started having kids, well, 5.5 years ago. But actually that was the reason why, because me and my wife had only been married for 2 months when we
Mhm.
found out she was pregnant with our oldest, and I think that was shortly after my grandpa was diagnosed with Parkinson's. So like it was the sole reason, because we both obviously, you don't want to have kids as soon as you're married.
Yeah.
Like the goal would be to wait a year or two, feel it out, get your honeymoon phase over with, all that. But I was like, no, we need to pump one out so that grandpa can be a great grandpa
Yeah.
before it starts getting bad and the Parkinson's takes that from him.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's that.
Did your belly just
I don't know
growl?
what else to say about that. Huh?
Did your belly just growl?
It might have.
I heard that.
It might have.
I heard that.
Did you really? I need to turn
Yeah,
my
I
fucking
did.
microphone down.
But on
It's
that
my
note,
gallbladder being grumpy because I grilled me a cheeseburger for dinner tonight. So
Mike,
if you ever get a Pit Boss pellet grill, be
mhm,
aware that if the igniter probe in your burn pot goes out
mhm.
halfway through a cook, there's no way for you to run that grill until you replace that igniter probe.
Okay. With that being said, I'd like first the
Because
public. Go ahead.
without it, nah, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Without that, okay, without that igniter probe, like, because I was actually like halfway through a cook when it took a shit, and I had to finish what I was smoking in the oven just to bring it up to temp, and it won't run even if the fire's already burning. If that igniter probe goes out, it'll shut the grill off, or it'll shut the smoker off. It's super annoying, and it's like a $30 part, and I bought it straight from Pit Boss, so I knew it was OEM. I guess I didn't buy it off of Amazon, so I had to wait fucking 2 weeks for it to show up, and it's a pain in the it's below the pellet auger, and it sticks through the one wall of the burn pot, so it sticks out, gets red hot, ignites the fire. But for whatever reason, it has to have signal to continue the cook. And so I got off work early today, and it was nice out, so I opened the garage doors up and finally got that put in. So it's actually, today was the first time since the beginning of January that grill's been ran, because I've been waiting for that damn thing to show up, and then I was waiting for a nice day like today to get out there and go put it in, because I didn't want to freeze my fingies off. So my gallbladder's been kind of growly because I had a cheeseburger for dinner.
I want a public apology from you because you tried the
For
grill.
what?
First of all, I'm gonna say this real quick. My children tried the grilled cheese with the grape jelly on top and the chips and said it was the
Yeah.
best grilled cheese they'd ever had. Didn't put the jelly on top, you put it in the sandwich, which made it not the same. And so, first of all, I implore you to.
Well, so the jelly in the sandwich gets hot as you cook it. It's not cold on top. So I would argue, and I haven't tried it your way, but the way I tried it, the jelly was hot and it oozed and coated all my taste buds across my tongue.
Okay, hang on,
And
let's listen.
so I did when I saw all right, go ahead.
Just
And then
listen.
I'll explain myself.
Yes,
Okay, I'm listening.
the jelly on top, it does get warm. It coats all your taste buds because it's still on the whole of the sandwich, but it kind of cools the sandwich down just
But
a
then
bit.
it gets on your fingies.
No, it doesn't, because you create like a burrito because you put the chips on and you eat it like a burrito. I just want a public apology because you shit on the sandwich and then you said you liked it.
I didn't say well, I did like it. I'll say that.
All right.
It's not life-changing, but I apologize for calling you an idiot
It is life changing if you do it
because
with the
so the way
jelly
I
on top.
the way I did it was I got one of them fancy half loaves of sourdough bread, and let's see if I have a picture of it here. Yeah, there it is. I got a fancy loaf of sourdough bread, and the bottom piece of that loaf is like this big. So I cut it in half and used it as the top and bottom. And I squirted some Duke's mayonnaise on the outside of the bread instead of butter, because I like mayonnaise on my grilled cheeses instead of butter because you get better flavor and a better crust on the bread. It's far superior, and I'll die on that hill. And so I did the raspberry preserves on one slice of bread, and then I put a slice of Munster cheese and a slice of Havarti cheese on top of the raspberry preserves, and then capped it off with the other piece. And that's what it looked like in the pan for the listeners to see. As you can see, there was a good thick layer of the raspberry preserves and a good solid crust on the bread. The cheese hadn't started to melt yet when I took the picture, but by the time it was done cooking, it was melty, and there was a hell of a cheese pull. I mean, there was several inches. I had to like really bite to get through the cheese so I didn't have to pull it way away from my face. And I did have some barbecue mesquite Pringles on the side that I would stick a chip in my mouth and then take a bite of the sandwich. So I had all the elements. It was just a little bit out of order.
No, you used fucking mayo.
It was a pretty good it was a pretty good sandwich. Yeah, dude. It's better.
No, use butter.
You know what?
Use
Yes, it
butter.
is. You know what? You know how I know? You know how I know? No, you know how I know it's better?
How?
Because my 5-year-old asks me to put mayonnaise on it versus butter.
Because she doesn't know any different because you've brainwashed her.
Because my wife will put, and we used to do butter. Okay. We used to be a butter, and I will never go back. My wife, on the other hand, she's like you. She lives under a rock, loves butter on her grilled cheeses. My daughter prefers mayonnaise like I do. She loves mayonnaise instead of butter because it's superior, especially because like butter is just butter. There's not really a whole lot of flavor to it. But if you put like even Hellman's, like regular just mayonnaise on it, it adds something to the sandwich. It gives, like, especially with Duke's, it gives it a little twang to it. And I'm telling you.
All I'm saying is that if you just made the damn sandwich like I said to make it, it would be revolutionary to your grilled cheese experience. But instead you do this goofy mayo and raspberry preserve inside the fucking thing and you ruin
I
it.
don't like grape jelly.
Okay, but
I
put
don't
it on
like grape
top.
jelly.
Put it on top. Don't put it in the sandwich.
Why would why would I do that when
And
I
it
can put it
just
in the
adds.
sandwich? And
It's because it's just different.
But if you put the jelly on the top, then it makes the outside of the bread soggy. You don't get the crunch when you bite into it like you do
No,
if
you
it's on the
don't.
inside.
No, you don't. Because if you listen, if you
I don't
put it
believe
on,
you.
if you put it, well, I'm the one that created this, so fuck off. I'm saying that if you put the jelly on top and then you take the chips and you put it on top of the sandwich, it's perfect. It's perfect. You'll want 2 of them.
On top of the sandwich. That's just a mess. You're just
No,
being
it's
messy for no
not.
reason.
No, dude, all you do is no, it's not, because if you use like regular bread, you can fold it. That's why I'm saying you got to flatten the sandwich. You have to flatten the grilled cheese, like make it as flat as you can, and then put the chips on top after you put the grape jelly
Yeah.
on top. And then you eat it like a burrito, like you fold it like a taco, I mean, and you eat it and there's no
Like a
mess.
taco.
Yeah, there's no mess.
Hmm.
We're just gonna have to disagree to agree on this. I mean, agree to disagree. We're just gonna have to, because you're killing me with this mayo thing, dog. And there is different kinds of butter. There's good Irish
Dude.
butter that's
Have you ever
salted.
tried
Yes.
it? Have you ever tried mayonnaise on it?
I refuse. I don't even like mayonnaise.
Have you?
I don't
Well,
like
then
mayonnaise.
fuck you.
But you did.
Yeah, you
I
do.
gave
Don't
you. No,
lie.
listen. I gave, my issue is that I gave you like directions on like how it should go, and you said I'm gonna put my twingy mayo on this and put the raspberry preserve inside the bitch, and you changed
I
it.
bastardized it.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I used all this. I used all. The only ingredient that I changed was the Duke's mayonnaise on the outside instead of butter.
Yeah, but no, but you also put the raspberry preserve in it. It needs to be on top. I'm telling you, it changes the flavor. It changes it. It just
Fuck
makes
it.
it better.
It's just adding a step when I could just put it in the sandwich and eat it like a sandwich instead of doing all that extra shit. Because it's already in the sandwich. It's like an Uncrustable.
Stop it. I can't. We're just gonna have to. You're killing me here with this. You're killing me. I can't right now. I strongly disagree with what you just said, and it's an amazing thing. But, it's we've done a full hour, like almost close to 2 hours. If you put the two together, I'm gonna call it. Yeah, that was
Well,
a good podcast.
this has all been one episode for me.
Yeah, it's same thing for me. It's been one
Because it
episode.
didn't.
So
Wow, that was weird. You just came through a million miles an hour. That was pretty fun. You sounded like a chipmunk.
so um, but I hope everyone has a good night. Thank you for
It
listening.
was like if you're watching. That was so silly. It was like if you're watching a Facebook reel and you hold the side of the screen and it goes to 2x speed. That's how you just sounded.
But
It
I'm
made me
gonna
laugh. You just sounded like a little silly guy.
on that note.
You jerking off right now?
No, I'm hitting this. On that note, I'm gonna say
Hitting something.
everyone have a great night. We in a good week. We appreciate you. We drop new podcasts every Monday at 8 a.m. We drop new clips, at least 3 a day. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow. If you have any ideas on sandwiches, movies, whatever, comment. Let us know. We want to hear from you guys. Other than that, I hope everyone has a good night. Talk to you later. Okay. All right.